Hi guys, I'm Low Quality Raptor and today I'm here to tell you something about the Heil. You know, I have just these couple of talks in the back of my mind. Um, I've been enjoying playing this game for a couple of months now. I'm not a veteran of the game, of course, but yeah, I had just a couple of thoughts in my mind, and I would really love to talk about that because yeah, this kind of videos is really popular in the community of the Isle, talking about the state of the game, the issues, the pros, the cons, stuff like that. But I really wanted to give people a perspective from a person which just recently got into the game. And not just the same 3 or 4 people that played this game since Legacy, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, first of all, before starting the video, I would like to address that I'm not an English mother language. I am Italian, so yeah, you will hear maybe wrong phrases, mispronunciation, stuff like that, and I really apologize in advance. The first point I wanted to touch is how I met the game. Why do I know about the Isle? You know, I've been always a big fan of dinosaurs game. I started with Primal Carnage and the Primal Carnage extinction when I was like a 13 years old. I was really a kid back in the day, but I loved playing as a dino. I was a Carno main. I really enjoyed the game, even if it was an indie game with really a small budget. For people that know Extinction in particular, you know, Extinction stopped receiving updates for like I think 4 years. It was just skins and balance changes. And even the balance changes weren't very much frequent. It was more just a new crate just dropped, loot boxes, stuff like that. But then the game started releasing content, and now it's I think in the best spot as ever. I don't play as much because of course I'm not into FPS really, and the changes they did I'm not particularly fan of that, but I also think the game is in a better state overall. So yeah, people will keep enjoying the game, and I'm really happy that devs got a chance to polish their product. But as I said, this is not a video about Primal Carnage. Maybe in the future I will do a video about that. This is a video about the Isle. I knew the Isle because I was into dinosaur games. Of course, I knew about Legacy, but I had a really bad PC back in the day. I really had a bad PC. But I bought the Isle anyway. It was running like total shit. It was unplayable, and I got myself a refund in 2017, I think. So yeah, I just got a refund. I watched a couple of videos, stuff like that, but it did not hook me really that much, to be honest. Flash forward to 2022, I think it was more than 2 years ago. I found a video about theislevrima. I discovered this game. I knew it was in beta, but the videos were really good looking. I enjoyed watching those videos. Until I realized the fact that theislevrima was playable. People like Gaming Beaver was playing the game, and I told to myself, you know what? I want to play the game as well. I want to play that game as well. So yeah, I grabbed a copy again of the Isle. I went to the theislevrima public branch, and the game was unplayable because I had a shit PC, basically. So yeah, I got a refund again. I did not follow up the development of the game for I think 2 years, until on September of 2024, so about 3 months ago, basically, because we're in January. Yeah, 3 months ago, I would say, after the summer break. I discovered again theislevrima, and I said, you know what, I really want to play this game because now I have a pretty good PC. So yeah, I took the game, I switched the public branch to theislevrima, and I started playing. And it was running smoothly, I would say. It was a really enjoyable experience. I love the graphics, I love the gameplay, I love the models. It was amazing, and now we are entering in the second list, in the second part, sorry, of the video, the pros. I made this video to talk about the cons more than the pros, but this game really has a lot of good pros, so I want to like spend a couple of minutes talking about it. As I said before, the graphics is amazing. The graphics is really incredible. The first 30 hours I think I played this game. Now I have more or less than 100 hours. I think I will leave the image up here so you can see. In the first 30 hours were just immersion. I was just playing on official servers with Deinosuchus. I was enjoying myself because I loved how the crocodile was moving in the water, how it was so cute when it was a cub basically. So yeah, I really enjoyed seeing the crocodile growing. It was really immersive, and I kinda had a pretty fun time playing the first 30 hours because I was not really into gameplay, and to be honest I was playing in a very not really much played server, official server. There were like 50 people I think per day, and so I had a pretty chilling experience with Deinosuchus because I was just like living in the same map. I was not roaming, I was not going to the islands, stuff like that every Deinosuchus player knows. I was just, you know, roaming around, eating fish, eating players, but I did not really have any particular incredible experience. Met a couple of crocs here and there, but they were pretty chill, and they were smaller than me, maybe because that's why they were chill. The models, the animations, I think the team really did a great work overall. The growth system really is seamless. It looks like you're actually growing. You notice like really rarely when the models just jumps up of a couple of pixels, stuff like that, but yeah, that's like a hit you're gonna take because of this incredible mechanic, and I really appreciate the dev for making it. Other good things about is Gateway. The map has a couple of problems that we'll pick up later, but right now I can say the map really is amazing to look at, to navigate. Really feels like a good place for creating your game right now. I hope more maps will come in the future, more tweaks on the map, but you know, the tropical storm, the sound design, the rain, the sunlight in the morning really eats. It really eats sometimes. Also, I would like to say that this game is using Unreal Engine 5, and the devs really did an amazing job because this looks like an Unreal Engine 5 well-made game from a graphical standpoint. For example, I do not like to compare it, I don't like people comparing it to other games, like for example Path of Titans, as people already know, but I also played a bit of Path of Titans. It really is something completely different, I would say. It's really a chilling, I usually put podcasts in the background and I just grow my favorite dinos. But yeah, there are many sandbox options to play the game with. But for example, when I discovered Path of Titans was running on Unreal Engine 5, I was really shocked because the graphics really is not that good looking, to be honest. It looks good, don't get me wrong, but it's not the Isle. Not very much. The environment is really low poly. The dinosaurs, they don't feel really alive, you know. Yeah, I know it's a different type of game, the Isle wants to be immersive, stuff like that, but it's really a shame for Path of Titans because I know the game has a big mobile community, But you know what? These graphics, this is like technology. This is what technology was made for. So I think the Hyl really has a bright future ahead. Okay, I think I spent like 5 minutes talking about the good part of the game. Let's talk about the cons. Oh boy, the cons. I'm not a veteran, okay, guys. I know that many people in the comments will say, "Oh no, you don't have 2,000 hours. How can you say this? You're like a newbie." But I think 100 hours, especially when you are like more than 20 years old, you have a job, is a big chunk of time you have to take because you know I could have been I could have gone to the gym. I could have like gone to I could have gone on holiday in that time. It's really big a window of time, and I think spending 100 hours doing the same thing over and over, you get pretty good. It's how a job works basically. You do the same things with a little variation over there, but yeah, you do the same practical things over and over until you get good. That's like how the brain learns everything, and I think 100 hours are good enough to tell this thing. Okay, the bugs. The bugs. Let's talk about the bugs.
That's insane! That's a bug! That's a bug! That is a bug!
The bugs. It's like, when I think about bugs and the Hyl, it's like cheese on the pasta. It's so good. I always, maybe because I'm also Italian, I don't know. I always put cheese on the pasta because it's an incredible combination. But for the Hyl, I think having this gameplay, the pasta, and these many bugs, the cheese, really is a recipe for disaster. Hitbox are just wrong. I don't know if it's a server issue, a low latency stuff, but it also happens in unofficial servers where I have a really low ping. But I think really the hitbox are the problem. Carnos will just ram into anything and will always hit, even if I have clear footage of him not touching my model. Of course, I know how hitbox works. It's like a giant box, but I think in a realistic game as the Hyl, hitbox should be realistic. So if you hit my tail, you hit my tail, you do a bit of damage, you do not make 100 of the full damage, you make like 10% damage because you hit the tail, like who cares. But for example, if you hit my head, that's a critical hit, so you make like twice the damage as in the body. But if you hit the fucking hair, the thin air, you do not deal any damage, but sometimes you will get the 100% damage. Because, yes, because the hitbox I think are problematic, or something related to server latency. But I'm not a server engineer, so I cannot tell you exactly what's the problem. The fact is you get it too many times and you do not hit too many times. They're really inconsistent. And in a PvP, because it is a PvP focused game, you have to kill things to survive. So yeah, PvP is a big thing in this game. Especially if you're playing carnivore, but also herbivores these days, damn, they're just jumping everything they see. Yeah, so basically I think this is like the most concerning thing. For example, I heard and I saw the pounce of the Omniraptor not recording just right, like the models clips into the ground, you just get stuck in a tree, really bad stuff happens. But you know what, it's a beta, we can close one eye. It's been a beta for 5 years, I think, so yeah, this makes it a little bit less forgivable, I would say, but you know what, let's close an eye. It's a bug in the well-made game, okay? It's like an impossible thing to say, but yeah, I think it's the perfect definition. Now let's talk about really balancing issue. I think that I am a carnivore player. I love carnivores in every source of media. I always, like, I like the Trike, I like the Stego, but they're not my cup of tea, My favorite dinos ever, maybe I be a bit generic, I'm a normie, I don't know. The Rex, the Spino, the big eating stuff, the stuff I grew on with Jurassic Park, even the Raptors. I think they are very cool in this game. Yes, they're not realistic, they are the Jurassic Park Raptor, I know that, but they look good. I grew with that shit when I was a kid, and I totally 100% forgive them for the design they went in. Maybe they will add a mutation that will make it fairer than or a Utahraptor with a different gameplay. I don't know, but yeah. I want to play as the big carnivore. So right now, as you probably know, there aren't that big mini carnivore. They're coming. The Rex will be coming this year in a couple of months if everything's good. Let's pray, guys. But yeah, they're coming. But right now, for 5 years, let's make 3 years, because the first 2 years were really testing stuff and adding gameplay relevant stuff. Let's say that for 3 years the game has always been like Raptors, the Tyrannosaurus, I think, small useless stuff, because I'm sorry for all the Dryo and Ipsy player, but these character do not do nothing. They are cool to play, they're cool to grow the first time, the second time, but you virtually have nothing to offer, because maybe in the future they will implement some mechanics that will allow you to like manipulate the ecosystem and create like alliances between even let's say for carnivores. It would be cool if Ipsy could stick around them to maybe attract more AI. I don't know about that, but it has potential. Right now, as things are on today, they are useless, they are cute, they are fun, they have good survivor capability because they're herbivores, they can eat plants, and they are small, so can they run easily from predators, but they are basically useless. And it's cool to have them, don't get me wrong, but we do not have even Allosaurus. And Allosaurus is not like the biggest predator ever, it's a medium-sized predator that could be really awesome to have in this game, because right now we have Stego, we have the Diabloceratops, we have Mayasaurus, which are all enormous and heavy herbivores that really deals a lot of damage. Stegosaurus can one-shot anything if it's full grown, and it's okay that it can one-shot, don't get me wrong, but there's nothing that can survive, that's the problem. The Stego is the apex actually, and the Stegos will hunt other Stegos or will do PvP with D-balls, because they are the apexes. They don't have to worry about anything if not swimming in the water, because in the water there is the Deinosuchus, and Deinosuchus is the most powerful playable right now, very difficult to grow, very with a tons of HP, with tons of damage, and a grab that basically one shots, but only a Stego if it's swimming, or small Stegos if they're on the edges of the water. So yeah, as a carnivore player, it's really tiring, because you have to eat to survive, you have to hunt stuff, but the stuff you hunt, it's most of the time other carnivores. You have to hunt other carnivores, which is realistic, because yes, you fight for the territory and stuff like that, but also, yeah, we should be able to hunt herbivores, but the only herbivores we are able to hunt are like, if you're grouping with other three Ceratos, I think a couple of D-balls, and you have to really play good, because if they stun you, you are basically almost dead. But yeah, I'm not a really big fan of the gameplay loop right now. Also, for the carnivores, you have to survive with AI, basically, and AI is in a terrible spot, because, as I said before, bugs, bugs are everything in this game. You cannot find any single AI, but sometimes you can find like 7 deers in like 3 meters apart. So yeah, it's very buggy right now, and shame. This is a shame for the dev, to be honest. AI is not smellable at all. Like in the realistic dinosaur game, you cannot smell like a deer 100 meters away from you. No, this is just a bad mechanic. I'm sorry, you should be able to smell the AI. I don't see why you cannot do that, at least with AI. Maybe in the future the smell mechanic could be reworked, made better, but not smelling AI is just like dying out of it's just the reason we carnivores player are dying of starvation 1 out of 2 times. The 1 out of 2 of the other times we are dying is because we are picking fights with bigger stuff than us, because I want to test myself, you know. Even if I'm playing as a small Troodon, I want to hunt the Cerato, I want to try because it's fun. It may be not realistic, but I don't give a shit. It's a game, okay? You can say it's a realistic game, but it is not a simulator, guys. Come on, get serious. It's not a simulator, because why should this game be a simulator if the Dilophosaurus can basically play as Naruto and have clones that deal damage? This is like the most... it's a crazy idea, don't get me wrong, and it's really frightening. Because the Dilophosaurus is a scary playable. They hunt by night when herbivores don't see anything. They create this fog that makes you see only a bit of meters away from you, and you also hear this scary laugh in the distance that create clones, and you are like surrounded. Don't get me wrong, it's cool, but it's not realistic. So I think realism isn't really a good reason to explain why something doesn't work in this game. And no, we can't add this because it would be unrealistic. Nah man, it's a game, you can do that. Don't make the T-Rex flying or shit like that, but I think you can do anything. You can add like 500 kilograms to playable because you feel like they need it to survive. For example, Carnotaurus right now, it's very strong, I would say, but it's strong between carnivores. Each Carnotaurus really refuses to hunt anything that is not a Cerato or a Raptor or a Dilo, because simply put, they are too small. If they charge against a Stego or against a Dibble or against a Maya, they are going to die like in the 80% of the times, because they are hunting stuff that's bigger than them. And it's really confusing. Like, come on guys, release the Halo, release the Rex. I don't care if like the fence breaking mechanic or the tree breaking mechanic is not polished enough. Just remove it and release it when it's ready. I don't see problems with stuff like that. Just give us a big, playable, difficult to grow that is capable of taking down at least into a Stego. For example, Allosaurus would be perfect right now because there is Maya, there is Dibble. A couple of Allosaurus I think could be capable of hunting basically anything. Balancing is really a problem. I would also like to talk about the sanctuaries for a bit, because when you're a baby, I think at least half of the times, if you do not smell food around, stuff like that, you are just running towards the sanctuary. And I think sanctuary are badly implemented, because they should be like a safe haven for the cubs to grow and just stay there safe and survive. But the problem is herbivore and carnivores meet there. The herbivores and the carnivores hate each other and they will fight probably. And the carnivores with other carnivores will kill each other because they need food. So basically, it's like a bloodbath every time you go to a sanctuary. And it's not very simply And it's not only that. Also, to reach a sanctuary, you have to play Metal Gear for a bit, especially in a very populated server like Petit Piets and an official one, because people are spawn camping the sanctuaries. They are like 15 people around every sanctuary, just killing off babies. And that's realistic because yeah, of course, in the Cretaceous, if you if you were a baby dinosaur, you were dead probably 9 out of 10 times. But come on, guys, it's a game. We are supposed to have fun. I understand the Troodon doing it because the Troodon is really small and it can really kill easily pets. So sorry, pets. Yes, of course. Babies, so yeah, that should be allowed for the Troodon, but at the same time, if a baby reaches a sanctuary, it's guaranteed to them, it should be always guaranteed that in the sanctuary they can grow safely for at least the adolescent part of the gameplay. So for example, I cannot be killed by a full-grown Dilophosaurus in the sanctuary, like it happened, I think, too many times. They can just tank these fucking bees in the sanctuary that do 0 damage. They can just tank, kill, and get the fuck out. It happened for me in a recent video on the Ceratosaurus, where a Carnotaurus was jumping on a tree and going over a sanctuary, killing a baby Cerato, and getting out safely. So yeah, this is a bit of bug abuse, I think, and should be reportable in private servers, but you know what. Let's go to the next point. I think the point is it should not be a realistic game, or at least, yes, it should be a realistic game, but not a simulator. You should cut off the boring part. For example, growing is very boring, guys, okay? We all want to play as a big dino. But also growing, I think, is a good mechanic, because you, as a spore, you go through various stages, you have various power spikes, you have to be careful about certain enemies. For example, when you're a baby, you have to be careful about Troodons. When you are an adolescent, you have to be careful about adults, Carnos, you have to be careful about many things, and that's cool. But the fact is, right now you just find food, you sleep in a bush, you drink, you eat another food, and it's kind of boring, because yes, it's realistic, but it's not really enjoyable, the gameplay. I think the devs should allow us, as the players, to explore this beautiful map gateway, because really is beautiful, but people will just, like say in Island, will just roam in South Plains, stuff like that. I think exploring should be a really cool part about the game, and maybe have a bit of a growth boost for exploring the highland for the first time, exploring the north for the first time, stuff like that. And by totally patching out the AI and ending the smell problem, it should not be really difficult, because yes, I am playing as for example, Carnotaurus. I can go north where nobody's playing, but I can go north and survive off AI, exploring the map, get a little bit of a growth boost because I explored the northern part. You know, it would be really cool. Damn, come on, guys, you can do it. Make just a little the gameplay a little bit forgiving, you know, a little bit more enjoyable and less about it, fill the bar and wait. For example, you take down a dinosaur in a PvP to survive, for example, how in the Ceratosaurus video I did with the Apache. Just give me a small XP boost, stuff like that. I played the Cerato how it was supposed to play, I took a risk, and I should be rewarded with a bit of growth, and not just the diet and the you know, the stomach the hunger bar filling up a bit. That's not enough, I think, because I played the Serato, I was even in a 1 versus 2, and I got my kill, I survived, and it made me stronger. Give me a passive buff, stuff like that. It can really be incredible what the devs should be able to do with this. Another thing I want to address is the UI. The UI is very minimal, looks good, of course, but I think that removing the health of the dino and also not having a map really is not a really enjoying type of experience, because, for example, I kinda know, now that I have 100 hours, how to move around certain parts of the map, but wow, the map is really huge. Give me a map, please. If I'm a beginner, I will never get into the game if I'm gatekeeped so hard. And also, there is a map website for the Isle. Don't make me search for a website that can do that, you know? Let's just add that into the game, maybe with a small marker, with the name of the area, stuff like that. It's not a problem, I think. It should really help most of the players. Maybe the hardcores will say, no, it's not simulative enough, but also we are recording the dinosaur. There is the position. If you press tab, you have the growth percentage. Why can't we have a map? It's just helping the players. Please add a map of this game. So yeah, guys, this was the list of cons that are right now into the game. I think that the game is realistic enough. You have bleeding, you have like hunger, you have the thirst meter, stuff like that. You have the bone break, you have stamina recovery, stuff like that. That's really realistic. Let's make it a bit more playable now, the game. So I suggested already, give growth XP, give growth percentage for killing a primary target, for example a Pachycephalosaurus for a Serato. I think really adding a map should really help a lot this game, because right now most of the players just find a physical map, yes, a virtual map on a website, and just I think someone maybe printed it and as a physical map of the gateway on their desk, but I'm not sure. I think at least one person did it. But yeah, just like put them up in the game. Don't even give me the position, give me the coordinates, I can calculate it myself, but at least give me something to stay in the game and not open a browser to see where a certain area I wanna go is up, north, south, stuff like that. So yeah, give us just a map, and I think having a health bar is really a good thing, or at least make us show the health remaining with like the Resident Evil style, you know, echoes, heart rate stuff, with green, yellow, orange and red, but without pressing tab, because in combat I cannot press tab because I'm gonna die if I press tab. Okay, also please make the AI smellable, please. Don't make me starve as a carnivore and waste 1 hour of time. Thanks again. And also, for my final point, the game has a promising future ahead, but I think these problems should be fixed now, because the bugs, the missing gameplay will just keep adding more and more we go on, patch after patch. So yes, they should focus on fixing these kind of things, and just to to understand the position of the Isle inside the community. Now the Isle is very popular, I know. I will keep playing it. But you know, dinosaur games are really getting popular again, I think. There is right now upcoming, I think later this year or in 2026, Echoes of Extinction, which looks like the Isle, to be honest. They have a really like a crafting system for humans, because eventually humans are gonna get added maybe next year in the Isle. They have a growth system, they have a really well-made graphics, I would say. They are also using Unreal Engine 5, and they're using it really well, I think. So yeah, this game is taking shape. It will be a competitor in the future for the Isle. The Isle, of course, has, I think, a little bit more budget. It's been around for at least 10 years, stuff like that. So yeah, I think the Isle really is ahead of Echoes Extinction, and Echoes of Extinction will not take the place of the Isle right now. But if we wait a couple of years, the problems get way more and more serious, I think another competitor could come out and take the spotlight out of the Isle. So yeah, guys, work hard on this, you can do it. And this, guys, was it. It came out a bit long as a video. I apologize again for my mispronunciation and grammatical error. I'm not a mother language, I'm just a guy that speaks English sometimes. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like, a comment, subscribe if you liked the analysis so far. Thank you very much. We see each other in the next video.